Whatever's in the middle, we shall soon find out. Welcome back for more Patapon. Last time, took care of some of the fortresses and some of the little secrets around the world. This time, we're going to go ahead and go into the next fortress stage. At least, that is what I believe in. Because, pulling back the curtains here for a second. I might have accidentally, sadly, ruined my audio. See, I had to restart all my drivers to try to get some headphones working, and that caused me, the mic, to lose its settings. Which I forgot how I had those settings, causing me to have full boost just to make sure the audio was loud and clear enough. Now, I realized that made it so that sometimes when I got loud, it was inaudible. It sounded terrible no matter how low I made the volume of, and it happened constantly. So unfortunately, those were kind of ruined. However though, there is some good lines here. I am going to do just post-commentary and speaking behalf of the gameplay, just so I can explain what's going on and hopefully have better commentary audio than before. For this map, however, we're going to go into this brand new hunting arena because there is a new location discovering thing, as in literally anything that's new in hunting, there has to be something, to hunt for, and yeah. These bats are one of those new creatures. They just fly around just like any other creature. They get hit, they move back a little bit, and you just gotta make sure you don't get too close and use archers effectively. It's probably worth mentioning that the wind is very important in this aspect, as waiting for the wind to be on your side, blowing towards the enemies, is pretty important, Aside from that, there is also that new enemy there, this red beetle looking thing that just attacks every so often. It causes fires, which is really weird for a melee, creature to do, but either way, just defend on it when it happens and you should be fine. After all, they do expect you to have only archers and spearmen, so they don't really expect you to have much in the way of other troops to deal with it, so they don't have that much health to worry about. Aside from that though, they're up there with the little yellow bat there, with the more eye. Oh, it's circles, but since everything uses circles in this game, it looks like it has more eyes, which is a creepy image. But either way, trying to take that down. Let's see, how good am I in the past? This is gonna be so weird, just reading back. I'm not gonna pretend that. I'm not gonna recreate the audio. That might take a lot longer than it should be. There we get another scroll though. That will bring us a new area unlocked in the menu screen, and a lot of these little secrets will contain more areas for you to do, and it's very important to do so because they might include a very game important item, boss, the hunting, whatever, it's just something important that you have to do all the time. It's worth checking each and every new hunting area with different effects, different weather to see. Not so much with bosses or fortresses, but mostly in hunting areas. Which I like the concept of, hunting, just getting some regular animals. It's neat. It's all nice. Nothing much happened after that though, just more monster drops and all that kind of stuff. But aside from that, let's move on to the rest of the game. That unlocks a new boss, Guardian of the Unexplored Chara Ruins. A hidden monster contains poison in the barb of its tail. It's almost as though using its power that I cannot read because I in the past actually moved the map for a second. I don't know why. We won't go into that boss just yet. We're gonna go to the fortress first. But before we do that, we should probably upgrade our Patapons real quick since we got a lot more materials. Ignore the footage actually going here. I do upgrade the Patapon. In the Yerapon section, it's time to bring some new colors with the Fumapon. We've already talked about before in some of the other troops. But we also now have the Yuhoho-pon, a bear. We won't unlock that just yet. I unlocked it for another class. I can't remember exactly what I did, but we'll get to that one soon. The bears are pretty interesting considering that they also cause more status effects than the other classes. They're just doing more damage or health or speed, which I'm always... okay, listen. I'm always in for status effects. I know there's a ton of RPGs that focus on that a lot, like Xenoblade, but I just wanted there to be a compliment, not like a necessity, because otherwise you get into some really weird things, like needing to have certain moves or certain status effects to get through, and you wouldn't even know about it. But sometimes it can work well, you know? We also have the green sprout, as you saw there in the back. Those increase in HP exponentially when you level them up with speed and stagger. We'll get to that one soon, however, because those are very important for something much, much later, but aside from that, just keep those in mind. Those are pretty nice to have, but the fact that they burn really easily might screw you over in certain levels. Here we go, the Yuho-Pon. It specializes in stagger, fire, sleep, and freeze. It's a very low chance in level 1, but it will happen occasionally, and it's just a really neat one to have. It looks cool too, little bear ears and everything. It's really adorable. But I'm not just upgrading for the sake of upgrading, because there's actually something very important in this as well, as we're finally going to show off the Patapon. The Patapon is absolutely trash in Patapon 1, let me tell you. Like I've mentioned a couple times before, but you really only need the 3 classes in the original Patapon, and this one is a grand example of it. I'll get to it more once we get into an actual level, but in this game, they are extremely helpful, and they can pretty much carry the entire group if under the right circumstances. They're very useful in bosses and can be a huge tank in fortress levels. Aside from that though, just give them some color and should be good to go. It's obvious that they should deal with weight and damage in the bottom row, but giving them some speed too can also help. As they attack slow, giving them more speed to attack more often might also help out. And you only have 3 of them too, so you could have 2 of them in the attacking range and 1 in the speed range. That's why I like having more characters than just having 4. Either way, let's set them in. They have a ridiculous amount of HP, but they don't have shields. Instead, they have leather shoulder, a type of armor that's only unique to them. Be glad they have those. Originally in Patapon 1, you did not have an equipped set of leather shoulders to them. They only had their HP. Aside from that, though, I believe we're all ready. This is our group looking at now. Ton of color growing in. It's nice to see it all, you know, colorful and happy instead of just being bleak and white, you know? Here at EGG Cliff, let's talk about the... I forgot what they're called already. No, okay. Listen. I'm not that smart. I need some reminders. I can't keep everything in this. I'm not even scripting this. This is all like live commentary, you know? You know this. Either way. The Patapon class. They are tanky, as I mentioned. They swing with a club with high damage and high knockback. They can absorb damage really well as well, and they're just really good tanks to just focus on all the damage. Please ignore my past self ignoring like freaking messing up all the combos because he was trying to talk while he was trying to explain the Patapons. I remember this clearly. Playing while explaining the Patapons and messing up all his timing and then giving up and just saying I'll do it in post, which I guess is why I'm here, but I only expected it for the one stage, not the entire recording. Either way, more of the Patapon class. While focus damage is extremely hard on them, aside from just boss attacks, obviously, that you should defend against them, they can take a ton of hits and absorb a ton of hits. As you can see, while their HP is accumulatively into the same as the Patapons, they still have enough tankiness to chug through a little bit. And in most of these levels coming up now, we should be receiving some more potions as before, healing up fully and, you know, just being able to be more tanky. I think the biggest claim to name is that, yes, there's fewer of them, but since they attack so hard, it might be better to use them instead of the shield units, just for the fact that chances are 2 of them or 3 of all at once will be attacking at the same time. Listen, I should probably mention also about stacking up troops. Having too much melees will cause not all of them to attack. Most of them would, but when you have 6, 9, and so on melee troops, not all of them are going to stack up against the enemy and attack all at once. Now, within reason, but there is a certain mechanic we'll get into that might help that out. But for the time being, it might be a little bit slow to have all of them attack at once, which is why having range might also be accumulated. Now we see that potion drop, and you see another weapon down there. Don't know what that is just yet, but might as well pick it up, because it might be useful for much later. Aside from that, though, these guys are pretty nice. I do like to have them every now and then, mainly just to keep things a little bit unique, and having them being really hard-hitting is extremely helpful. We'll talk more about the hero version of this class soon, but I'll just say it is extremely powerful. It's not the strongest, we'll get to that soon, but it is extremely hard if you, it hits extremely hard if you do want help getting rid of these barriers extremely quickly. Especially going through bosses. It just shreds bosses. Kinda. It's slow hitting, but it does the job well. And with only 3 troops, you can stack upon something really easy and do a ton of damage. As you can see, they're like 40 damage each, a pop. I mean, I guess it was 17, or he just outright missed. But yeah, they do quick work. Combine that with the spearmen and the archers, and you just got a very extremely good team. With the shieldmen, you have at least good defense whenever something comes in your way to protect the last 2. But if these guys are able to tank and you're able to kill fast so they don't take too much damage, you should be really great for this, like, not really a general build of tanking and then dishing back out, but more of a glass cannon type of stuff. Yeah, they have a ton of HP, but they can and will die if you're careless eventually. After all, they have, they have the HP and they have some armor to reduce damage. They don't have shields to reflect it, so be careful of that. And again, should also mention that, man, they do them dirty in the first game, having no armor. You only have to rely on their HP to keep them alive. And most of the time, they can't. With a ton of archers and spearmen that can just be deflected by the shield troops, the Decapons could do nothing but just tank the damage and lose all their HP immediately. It was really sad for them. And even sadder for a mechanic we'll get into eventually at some point, whenever we get to that. Might take a while, but we're getting there. Aside from that though, you can see that they just are in yellow, completely yellow. Lacking in maybe some deflective, yes, but they tank so much damage there, and the rest of their groups, the archers, are completely unscathed, and now they're becoming hurt because of the cannon in the back being set on fire. Yeah, it's not good. These Karmen are brutal, equipping cannons and fire arrows to the bushes. Like I said, fire is dangerous in this game for your Patapons. And a lot of your Rarepons are weak to fire to offset the fact that they're really good in other aspects in attacking and crit rate and all that. It blows, but just this castle and we should be able to, one of the Decapons go down. And the hero goes right over the castle and attacks the thing in the back, the thing that isn't even doing anything. The things I do for this hero, I swear. And with that, just one more troop left. Oh, that's something else too. That's kind of weird. Just the fact that the attacking has the Karmens jumping, meaning that you miss attacking them with all that damage. Kind of annoying again, but in bosses it's no such issue. And really, if you have a ton of archers and spearmen, they can clean that this up. And I fail the one last movement to go to the ending. Poor old me. Well, that is your post-commentary for the day. I might have to do it for the others coming up, which means I have to watch like 15-minute videos entirely to see the footage. Oh boy. Don't worry though, at least the one thing I'm glad is nothing amazing happened throughout these recordings, which I'm already devaluing the weight of my recordings, so... I mean, okay, it's cool, there's some good stuff, there's important stuff I covered, just not, like, big moments of me screaming or anything. In fact, if I did scream, it would probably definitely. But either way, with that being said, next time on Patapon, we'll take on the Defender in the Sky, I think, and cover some more just mini skull stuff here and there. I don't remember, man. Alright, I'll see you guys until next time, and I apologize for the post-commentary.